Hey, we're live here. Paul Romero with the Sell a House Wholesale Real Estate Training number 114 on this fantastic Freedom Friday. And sorry for being a minute late there. Time just flew by there for a second. I don't know what happened. Anyway, Freedom Friday, beautiful day. I love Freedom Friday because why? It's Freedom Friday. And what am I doing on Freedom Friday? I am camo hiding at the beach. No, I wish I was, but I'm not today. Um, it's in the very near future, though. Anyway, so what do we want to talk about today? I don't know. I haven't thought about anything, but here we go. Let's get into something. I know from Jeff Fagan's Street Smart Business Call this morning. He talked about the 17 principles of success, and I didn't write them down as he requested that we did because I was actually preparing something else at the same time, so I didn't have a chance to do that. But awesome principles, and they all are derived from a man called Napoleon Hill. And Napoleon Hill, there's his name right there, Napoleon Hill. And Napoleon Hill, way back in the day, was commissioned. Now, he wasn't even commissioned. He was, I don't know, he didn't get paid for this. But the richest man in the world at the time, Andrew Carnegie, incorporated Napoleon Hill to study, and Andrew set him up with all of these people, the richest people in the world, to study them and learn what it was that allowed them to be so successful. Men like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison and just Firestone and Marshall Field and just all the people, the richest men in the country at the time. And so he was able to hang out with these people and interview them, and he dug into what it really takes to be successful in life, not just in business. Of course, most of it is based around money, of course, because realistically, life is sort of based around money. It's an unfortunate fact, but money is a part of this world. And you all know very clearly what your life's going to be like if you have none, because you've seen the people out on the street corner that have none, right? With the signs saying anything will help. Well, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be that person. You want to be successful. And to be successful, obviously, you need money. So Napoleon Hill studied all these people for 20 years, and then he wrote a book called The Laws of Success in 16 Lessons. Now, this doesn't say in 16 lessons, but The Laws of Success in 16 Lessons. This is powerful stuff inside this book. This happens to be a 24-disc CD set that I just purchased recently because I'm really excited to get into this. I've already listened to, fell asleep listening to the second one, but that's fine. You know what? While I was sleeping, all that information was still going into my head because it was playing. But I'm really excited to listen through this for the very first time in my life. I've started reading it. I've read the first couple of chapters, but I thought, you know what? This is great. I can listen to this in the car when I'm driving around, have it in the background. I'm going to get the CD set and just have this information coming into my mind all the time. So this is really awesome. There's another CD set that I've been listening to, which is really awesome. It's Your Wish is Your Command. Very cool stuff. There's also a book that I recently bought called The Magic of Thinking Big. And, what all of these things really come down to is right here. If you want to be successful, it's all right here. It's all in your head. Success comes from your thinking. How you think about the world, how you think about everything is where your success comes from. And it's so cool because last night I was at a little birthday get together for one of our team members, Brian. It was his birthday yesterday, turned a whopping 33. I would trade with him right now for that. I would actually, I can't even imagine what my life would be like if at Brian's age of 33 that I was putting this information into my head then. He's been doing it now for at least the same time, if not a little bit longer than I have. So, and obviously he comes from a different place than I do, so I really can't say exactly how far he's come, or if he's farther ahead than me or not. It really makes no difference. But the fact of the matter is, it's all working for him as well too, as it's working for me. I was telling a story last night to some friends that were there about how, 10 years ago, I decided that I wanted my life to change. Now, there's a very, very powerful thing in here. I want you to listen carefully to these words. 10 years ago, I decided that I wanted my life to change. The evil eye. I wanted my life to change, right? I tried a lot of things. So I wanted and I tried. Weak, weak, weak words. All right. What happened was 7 years later, 3 years ago, is when I met Jeff Fagan. And at that point in time is when I realized that if I want my life to change, I have to change things in my life. And the number one thing that I had to change was this right here. I could have continued on for another 20 years trying all kinds of stuff because I was thinking, I was of the thought process that it was all about what something that I could do differently, that, that's all I needed was just to do something differently. Which that's correct, but just to do a different thing, basically. Let me put it that way, to do a different thing. And all of those things that I tried were all great lessons. I had to learn. I had to learn how to fail before I could learn how to succeed. Very, very interesting. I had to learn how to fail before I could learn how to succeed. So I was just telling the story that, 10 years ago, I wanted my life to change, but it wasn't changing until 7 years later, when I realized that if I want things in my life to change, I have to change things in my life. And they were really the people that I was talking to was really kind of like, that's awesome, that you say that. And the fact that Jeff holds phone calls every morning and a meeting once a week, and he's also got a summit that he holds. Was originally once a month, but it's kind of off and on now, just because he's so wrapped up in building a business that he's tied up with. So his time is really, really stretched to be able to focus upon that as much as he would really like to. I know he would really love to be able to have that and hold that summit every month as it was originally designed, but for him to still be able to do his daily and weekly and give up the monthly, well, you know what? That's a very powerful thing. That shows his dedication to others, and that's what one of the lessons in there is in the 17 principles that he talked about this morning, was going the extra mile and giving to others far more than they expect. And that could be as small as just sending a birthday card to somebody on their birthday, or wishing them well in the fact that they got a new job, or just little things like that are very, very powerful in building people's perception of the type of person that you are, a loving, giving, caring person. And that is one of the keys to success. So I'm real excited about the laws of success and listening to that. I'm real excited about finishing the book. What's it called again? Oh, The Magic of Thinking Big. Really excited about that. I've got to give a lot of credit to this Your Wish is Your Command for my thought process and how right now how I look at the world and how I see things. One of the key things in that I got out of that, and there's many, but one of them is that people are mired in where they are right now because they don't have depth of vision. They can only see things for what they are. And when you see that I don't have any money, you see that my job really sucks, and you see that I don't have a good family life because of lack of money and time because I'm spending it all at the job that doesn't make any money that I don't like, and I come home angry, and all these things. When people just look at it and they focus on what they have and what they are, who they are, and what they're doing right now, without looking forward into what they can be, what they can have, and what they can do. Those are the three things right there: what you have, who you are, and what you do. Actually, not in that order. I like it more like, what you do, who you are, what you do, and what you have. That is really what this is all about, is who you are, what you have, and what you do. And by focusing upon what it is right now, you get trapped in more of what it is right now that you have, do, and are. Okay. When you can have that depth of vision and you can look forward and say, you know what, I'm here now. I don't really like it. It's not great. It's not what I want, but this is what I want to be. This is what I want to have. And this is what I want to do. And when you can focus on that, when you can focus on the future, when you can focus on 5, 10 years down the road, that's when your mind shift can go to, you know, oh, this is what I'm going to do today, to what should I be doing today to get me there? This is what I have to do today to survive right here versus what can I do today to get me there? And every day that you do something towards getting you there, you get closer to it. And it's tough at first. The beginning is always the most difficult because you're doing things and you're applying change and you're all excited about it, but you don't see any results. Doesn't happen. It ain't happening because we all want it to happen right now. Right now, right now, right now. We're all about the instant gratification, which is another whole factor of, why we are where we are, is because we give up on our dreams and we sell them out for instant gratification. It's just like, we could save our money so that we can, do the right thing with it and invest and create passive income, or we can spend our money, we can build up debt so that we can have petty um, satisfactions. And that's a trap that we are all sucked into and really conditioned and programmed and brainwashed through society and the media and advertising and all those things to be that person, to be that consumer, not to be a wealth builder, to be a consumer, to be a spender, not to be a saver and a builder, to be a spender, and like I said, have that instant gratification, that joy of I've got these things that I can play with. But if you take away those things, what do you have? You have nothing. You build wealth, you can have all those things, and yet if they get taken away, you still have the wealth. And the wealth isn't just the money. The wealth is the happiness. The wealth is the relationships. The wealth is the enjoyment, and the wealth is the financial part. So the wealth incorporates more than just the dollars, or preferably not just the dollars, because the dollars are shrinking. That's a whole other story too. Dollars aren't that great. You need to build real wealth, is solid long-term wealth, and which is actually what our prior hangout is all about. This right here is a way to build real wealth through precious metals, gold and silver, along with other diversifications. Precious metal, gold, and silver is just one aspect. Really shouldn't be more than about 20% of what you are creating and building, but it's a strong piece that helps you to build something solid, a base from which you can always operate from, something that'll help you maintain the wealth that you build into the future, into generations of the future, in fact, that you can pass this on to your children and things like that. Because when you build your wealth around paper dollars, you can build it this big. 10 years from now, it's only this big. And 20 years from now, it's only this big. 30 years, it's this big. When you build it in solid, real assets, you build it this big. 10 years from now, it's this big. And then it's this big. It's this big. It gets bigger. Like I said, the whole spending versus savings thing is people don't save their money to invest in appreciating assets. What people do with their money, and even the people that save their money generally spend their money on depreciating assets, such as anything, cars, TVs, all the things, motorcycles, ATVs, RV, whatever, boats, whatever it is that you're into. When you're spending that money on these depreciating assets over time, especially when you're buying them on credit and you have to continue paying and paying and paying and paying, and you're paying all that interest, and really, you bought this $10,000 item, and by the time you've paid it off, you've paid $30,000 for it because of the interest, and yet by the time you pay it off, it's only worth $1,000, if that. And that's if you took good care of it. If you spent more money maintaining it properly, because it's a depreciating asset and it's a losing situation. When you buy an appreciating asset, I'm just going to use real estate, for example, a property. When you buy a property and you put a renter in there, an investment property, not a property for yourself. When you buy an investment property and you put a renter in there and they're paying you monthly every month, and you've got income coming in from that investment that you made, and over time, and we all know real estate can crash, it'll go down, but it comes back up. It always goes in cycles, up and down and up and down, but it pretty much goes in cycles up and down at a continually upward trend. So it's always going to be going up to some extent. But later on down the road, as I said, that real estate has appreciated in value. And that's the same thing with the gold. You buy gold now, and yeah, you might see the gold market fluctuating up and down and up and down and up and down, but eventually you're going to find that gold peaks out at a whole new level where it starts going up and down and up and down and up and down again. And that's when it makes that appreciation jump. And that's when you've saved your assets, to the fact that you have preserved that chunk of wealth that you build here at this level. And now that it's worth this much over here, and everything around you costs that much more as well, too, because prices always go up. Now you've still got that same base. That appreciated asset saves you and keeps you in the position where you are, where everyone else around them is losing everything because their assets depreciated, and everything they had that was worth all this money is now worth less, and they've got nothing. And when I say worth less, it's not only worth less, it's virtually worthless. Many times, a lot of things, for instance, an example, before the crash, what was really, really big? I mean, besides everything, but one thing that was really, really big was memorabilia, trading cards, sports memorabilia, all kinds of memorabilia, right? It was a big, 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 big thing. It was selling on eBay, massive prices. People were having bidding wars, fighting for all that stuff. You been to eBay lately? It's those same things that people were paying hundreds or thousands of dollars for. You can buy them now for freaking $10 because they've been rendered worthless, because it's trivial to life and wealth building. It has no meaning or real value. It had a perceived value at the time because all of these quote rare things and whatnot that nobody has and stuff like that. And everybody spent a lot of money, invested money in things that because prices were going up. They invested all this money in all of this memorabilia, and now they're just left with piles of crap, you know, piles and piles of crap. And yeah, sure, they can sell it all now and recoup some of that money, but they might not even get what they put into it out of it at this point in time. So the depreciating asset is the road to destruction, to poverty, really. And appreciating assets is the road to real wealth building and preservation of your lifestyle and what you want out of this life, and being able to live, a happy, healthy, wealthy life. And it's all in the difference between spending and saving, or spending and investing, really. So I don't know. That's my Freedom Friday talk right there. It's investing versus savings, and it's mindset over, programming and conditioning. We've all been programmed and conditioned over time in society, and to be consumers, to spend our money. And it's up to you to change your thinking. I mean, the Napoleon Hill prayer that we say every day, and I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom. Why? To control and direct my own mind. You have that power. You can control and direct your own mind. It's your mind. You can do whatever you want with it. You don't have to do what you're being told by the outside forces, giving you all of this negative information and bad information about how to live a life. You can live a life any way you choose to do so. So I hope that you choose to live a life of expansion, live a life of knowingness of the abundance of this world and the universe, and that you really can have, be, and do anything you want in this world, as long as you decide what that is, stay focused on it, and continue making progress towards it each and every day. So with that, everybody, appreciating assets. O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to create, which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, and create more of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. That's it for today, Freedom Friday. I hope you guys have a great climax, and we'll see you back here at the beginning of the next strong session on New Up Day.